So, you know, if you're going to wait on it, definitely do that. But this is amazing. You're definitely going to go through it. All right, guys, check out my latest video right here. You're going to love it. It's fantastic. It's a brand new color corrector from Huda Beauty, and it's amazing. I'm wearing it right now, so this flawless finish on my complexion, that's what I've got on. All right, guys, until next time, live, love, and lip gloss. Bye.
Okay, cutting.
And that was the last video I filmed for you guys back in July of 2023. Whew. Okay, so I'm just going to explain to you guys what happened. So I had to take some time off because my sister, who's about 3 years older than I am, she had a stroke, and now she's actually paralyzed on one side of her body. It was major, so I took some time off for that. And then I started to get sick. So I'm just going to tell you guys what happened, why I had to take that time off. It's not that I wanted to, it's I had to. I started getting these random bruises all over, and they were unexplained bruises. Like, I didn't get hit, I didn't bump myself. It was very random, very strange, and they kept getting bigger. Like, there was a point where I had one in the center of my forehead. I had a bunch like on my arms, like here, there, my legs. I was covered in them. I had bruises on my feet. Like, it was kind of getting crazy at that point. So, of course, I had to go into the ER to get checked out because, you know, what's going on, what's causing this. And they admitted me, so I was there for about a month. And it turns out I have this very rare condition called Evans syndrome. This is a combination of something called ITP and hemolytic anemia, and they call it Evans syndrome. And as you guys know, I do have a couple of other autoimmune issues as well, like the thyroid, which I had removed a couple of years ago. I got this rare syndrome, blood condition, and my white blood cell count was down to 25. I had the doctor call me, and he's like, don't get into a car, don't drive, don't cut anything, don't cut vegetables, like don't do anything. He can hear my puppies in the background. He's like, don't even play with your puppies, like just like literally, like, you know, quarantine, lock yourself in your room, don't do anything. He was worried about a brain bleed or, you know, internal bleeding from a bruise, like just don't get bumped. Like, that's how scary it was. So I ended up going to the ER and talking to a doctor there who did more tests. They ended up admitting me, and I was in the hospital for about a month on tons of steroids and like pain medication. I barely remember being there. Like, the first probably 15 days I was there, I don't really remember it too much. They had put a PICC line, and I don't know if you guys can see it. I've got a little bruise right there, or scar I should say, from that PICC line that would go from here all the way to about here, and it's like a internal IV that would go just before it hits your heart to make sure that that medicine is getting into you and your heart can disperse it as fast as possible. So yeah, it was major. You know, things have been major. That was August, September, so I left the hospital end of September. October was rough. Being in the hospital for so long, I couldn't walk when I got out of the hospital. That intense medication that they had me on, the steroids, I mean, they weren't just common steroids, they were like the intense ones. Oh yeah, Muggy's here in case you see him. So, yeah, I'm petting him just to try and get through the video. So when I got home, I was starting over again with the physiotherapy, learning how to walk again. I was using a walker, and it was intense. Like, I was not well. Like, so if you guys wrote to me, I did eventually write you back. I wrote everyone back, but I was beyond ill. Very, very sick. Oh my gosh. Trying not to cry. And that was the hardest time ever. But to get my blood levels back to where they needed to be, I had to go through a couple of rounds of chemotherapy. So throughout the winter, just before Christmas actually, like November, December, I was going through a lot of chemotherapy. Just every couple of days I would have to go. And again, super, super sick. This is my real hair. I did not lose my hair, but I lost a lot of hair. So it's thinner than it was. And I mean, it was pretty thin from before, but you know, it is what it is. And, you know, still, you know, rocking those cute hairdos, you know, but it is what it is. And the chemotherapy left me very sick, as you can imagine. So I was very immunocompromised. Camera guy could not come over. I couldn't film. I wasn't well enough to film. And honestly, it was just a really horribly sad time in my life. And you guys, when you would write to me, that would mean the world to me. So I want to thank you for that. So, oh my gosh, I'm trying not to cry, guys. I'm trying not to cry. So, moving on to December. I get COVID. Christmas Day. Yeah, what a Christmas present. Being immunocompromised, I would not recommend it at all. Like, it was just ridiculous. I mean, being sick on chemotherapy is one thing. Getting COVID afterwards, whole nother story. So we got the COVID, ended up back in the ER, whole thing. We're going to push through a couple of weeks. So here's the thing. On the particular chemotherapy that I was on and the COVID medication, which is a new medication, and no one has really tested the two together, just after I stopped the COVID medication, it kind of mixed with the chemo medication, which is kind of long-term acting, so it just started to work at that point. My body went into shock. My mother called an ambulance. I ended up in the hospital. It was, I can't even describe it to you. It was like the worst feeling. I was convulsing, shaking. It was like this whole big thing. Trying not to cry, guys. I really am. Hang on. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, we're going to push forward a little bit. I'm okay. Survived. We're all good. But that was intense. So it's been a rocky road between basically January, the beginning of the year, and now. Obviously, I wanted to come back to YouTube in July because I left in July, but I wasn't well enough to. So today is the day. I'm here. And I'm not going to say I'm super, super well. I'm not. I'm better. I'm doing lots better. And we're here. We're going to start filming again. And I'm excited to be filming for you guys. We've got a brand new launch that I can't wait to film for you guys. Like, the videos are going to start coming. Like, seriously, like, they're just going to start coming, but not as fast and as frequent as before. I'm going to try for 1 video a week, and then maybe we'll work up to 2, and eventually we'll work up to 3. But that's going to take maybe like 3 or 4 months to get up to 3 videos a week until I feel better to do that. So definitely stay tuned for those videos because I'm excited to film them. Oh my gosh. I'm excited to film. Ugh, I'm just crying. Hang on. I'm super excited to film for you guys. I'm not crying because of that. It's just I'm crying because this is hard for me to talk about, obviously. I am overjoyed inside. Like, they're happy tears almost because I'm back and this means the world to me and you guys mean the world to me, and every time you wrote to me, it lit up my whole day. Like it just, I honestly, there was 1 or 2 messages. It actually made me cry because you guys are just the most amazing people, and I'm so happy to be back on YouTube. And camera guy's here, he's waving, he says hi, and Muggy's here, he's like literally sleeping on my makeup desk. Don't worry, I will sanitize, it's fine. But you know, everyone is back and I'm back, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Alright guys, I haven't said this in a long time, but live, love, and lip gloss. I will be back. Stay tuned.